Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about how much does it cost to start Amazon FBA business in 2022. My name is Dr. Avasamin and I am CEO of Upscale Valley. So today's topic is very interesting because this topic is being thrown usually to the cold audience, to the layman, people who are interested to start Amazon FBA business. And it has a big variety of opinions on this topic, specifically on the YouTube. Some might say that you can start Amazon FBA business with maybe $500, get a product which has the landing cost of maybe $1, and buy 500 units, and you can start your business right away. Some would say Amazon FBA is a capital intensive business and it's not for someone having thousand, maybe $2,000 in the pocket. So which opinion is right and in which scenario? We are going to discuss this today. In my opinion, there are four different approaches when it comes to launching an Amazon FBA private label business. It has four different approaches which are for different types, categories, and classes of people, which would suit those people in their particular scenario. I'm going to discuss all these four scenarios one by one so you can get in clarity and kind of a reality check about the Amazon FBA business, specifically in 2022, because it's been evolved and changed a lot. Okay, so let's talk about approach number one. You might have heard many people teaching on YouTube that you can start an Amazon FBA business in maybe just $500. All you need is just a push, all you need is just a kick, and you need to find a product. You can see that product is available on Alibaba or maybe anywhere else in maybe 50-60 cents. The landing cost can be up to $1. Buy 500 units, list it up on the Amazon FBA and see what happens, and you will be amazed how good Amazon is. Let's dissect this approach. In my opinion, this approach is just basically a trap, nothing else, and almost every experienced seller will agree with this more than 100%. And this is just a trap to the layman, to the beginners, so they can kind of just kickstart the thing, just jump into the Amazon FBA business. Let's dissect this approach now. Let's assume I am implementing this told strategy. I have maybe figured out a product which has the landing cost of $1, and I've sent 500 units to Amazon FBA. Definitely, if we are going this much cheaper, most likely, even if you are lucky and you go for maybe more than three products, at least 50-60% of your products are also going to be shipped by ocean. And let's assume we are doing it this way. The manufacturing time is going to take around maybe 30 to 45 days, and the shipping time is going to take another 45 days. So your inventory will arrive at Amazon FBA in 2 to 3 months. And if we are calculating the landing cost of a product up to $1, then that's going to be a low price product. A low price product is any product which has selling price of maybe less than $15 or $10. So for these kind of products, Amazon advertising is becoming super competitive, and it would be very hard that you expect orders without running any PPC. And if you run PPC, that's going to be one click is going to be more than your profit margin for the product. So it's not a profitable approach. But let's say you start getting 1, 2, 3 orders, then for the next batch of inventory, you still need to manage that. You still need to manage, let's say this 500 units may get consumed in maybe first month or 1.5 month, and you need to place order for the next inventory replenishment. That's going to take another $500, and then that's going to take another 3 months time period. And during this time period, your inventory is going to get out of stock, and then you need to reinvest into the marketing or launching effort, whatever you have done. Maybe you have asked your companions to buy your product. Maybe you've asked some influencers, or maybe in the rare maybe 5% chances are there. In the 5% case scenarios, your product PPC is not comparative and you started getting order. Still, it's not the truth statement that you're going to run your cash flow in the $500. If you are short on cash, a better approach than this one is to find a marketplace with less competition. Let's say even if you are a US citizen or maybe any European or Asian citizen, you can still sell to any other Amazon marketplace. That can be Germany, that can be Italy, Spain, France, even Canada, even the UK, the Switzerland market. You can see, you can go to a marketplace, Amazon marketplace with less competition. And another approach, a much better approach than seeking for inventory to be shipped from China to your target marketplace, whatever it is, maybe it's USA or UK or whatsoever. Much better approach is to find a distributor in your local country, in the country in which you want to sell on Amazon, and find all the non-branded products that distributor has, and you just need to simply list down those products in FBM. When any product starts getting order, you can always buy a little units of that particular inventory from the distributor. And if it picks up a good pace, then you can always order that inventory from China. But ordering the inventory directly from China in this low cash, low budget approach is just simply a disaster, and that's not going to work. You still need to have at least $3,000 to $5,000 in your pocket to try this approach. It's not viable in, let's say, $500 or maybe $800 to $1,000 at all. And this approach of finding local distributor is much better as compared to shipping the low price, low landing cost inventory directly from China. That's simply a disaster in 2022. The second approach is for those people who have around $20,000 or more than that in their pocket. And in this approach, even in this approach, don't think of building up a giant brand, except you have a good audience already in hand, which you can capitalize for your product sale. In this scenario, if you are looking for something as a side hustle and not as a proper brand effort, or as a proper business effort, then you can always find a high price product, and you can go with some kind of product which has high price and low sale velocity, and you can always buy some of its units. And now in this scenario, the difference here is you must have a good profit margin in dollars. The profit margin should be at least $20 or plus. Whatever is your product selling price, that can vary from $40 to maybe 50-60 dollars. But then again, your profit margin in dollars or in the currency should be at least $20. So it's very crucial to have this approach, and we'll always aim for profitable orders from day one in this approach. That's all. That's also a kind of short-term approach. And if your niche becomes super competitive, you will start observing a decrease in your order numbers. But maybe it can happen after maybe 9 months, maybe 1.5 years, or maybe 2 years. So it totally depends. But whatever you are selling it in the in a profitable approach. Now the third approach is what actually is Amazon private label, in which you basically analyze a niche and see where the demand is, see where the which niche is trending or have good demand. Then you will find products in that niche. You'll do working on the product development part. You will kind of do working on the products, so that you can provide a reason to your buyers why should they buy your product. That's an important question to answer here. And then in this kind of niche, you should have a good budget in your hand, and you will do product development. You will order inventory of maybe 2 to 3 months, and then you will do a proper product launch. In such scenarios, you must have at least 40 to $50,000 or above budget in your hand if you want to go into this approach, because you need budget for having 3 months of inventory in the start. You need budget to do the launch effort and then the marketing maintenance efforts, and then you need the cash amount in hand to order the replenishment. So this kind of approach is not viable at all in, maybe let's say, whatever people say to the layman or to the beginners, that you can do all this in 8,000 to $10,000. That's totally a wrong advice, and that's going to make a disaster. Now in 2022, in this third kind of approach, you need to keep on updating your product design. You need to keep on doing the social listening. You need to keep an eye on what's an update in the product design, the product development, and you need to make sure that uh, you are updated in this part, and you are doing the due updates, due changes to stay in the market. Because now it's this pattern is commonly observed, that people are not only focusing on the advertising strategies, advertising part, but they are also focusing on the product development part. So it's very crucial that you stay up to date in the market. You keep on doing the social listening, keep a good tight eye on your negative reviews and that of your competitors. Listen to your target persona customers on the social media, and bring on the due updates in the product development so you stay in the market. Now, the fourth approach is where the true money lies in the Amazon FBA business. So that's the pure money making approach, and that's what the giant players do in the Amazon FBA business. Those who exit their brands and maybe $1 million or maybe $50 million, or even you will hear some people doing exit in maybe 70 to $80 million. Now, what's the approach for these people is, or what's the approach for these salaries? They jump into the niche to rule that niche. They won't enter into such kind of niche in which either they cannot dominate by becoming the highest authority, the biggest authority, by gaining the highest number of reviews, or by bringing up enough improvement in the product so they can get ranked on the top and rule that niche. These are the 2 points which these sellers will keep in mind in selection of the product. Either they want to rule the niche, either they want to become the highest authority. Their sale velocity, their review velocity organically is going to be at much higher pace, that they will aim to become the best seller in that niche. Otherwise they will kind of simply avoid that particular niche. And the second thing is, either they are updating the product design development, doing patent of that particular improvement in design or the product development part, and making sure that no one can touch those sellers in that particular territory, and then they will aim to rule that particular niche. So that is the fourth approach. In this approach, you must have a good amount of budget, anywhere near to $100,000 or even more than that, in which you go aggressive. These niches are high demand, they have a good depth. People are already selling and earning very well in these kind of niches. So these sellers, they kind of enter into the niche to rule the market. So these are the four different approaches. Now after getting the knowledge about these four different approaches, you need to ask this question to yourself: how much does it cost to start Amazon FBA in 2022? You need to define yourself, to which category do you belong, and what outcome and end result are you expecting. And don't expect that you are going to invest $3,000 and then you are going to build up a brand having worth of maybe $300,000 or similar situation, or you are going to send your product as an impulsive decision, and that's going to rule the Amazon marketplace. That's not going to happen. So you need to define yourself, to which category, to which type of approach, or which type of seller person you belong, and you need to have a clear cut outcome knowledge in your mind, that if I'm going to jump into this approach with this budget in hand, what outcome am I expecting? So depending upon your category, the budget required for you to start an Amazon FBA business will vary. So that's, I guess, a comprehensive approach which you should have an idea about. One important thing which I need to mention about these approaches is in the first and second approach, your product may stay viable for the next 6 months or maybe 9 months, and then it is quite possible that the niche become competitive from the advertising perspective, or there are new designs in the market. People are bringing up new updated designs, and you are not getting similar number of orders or sales which you are getting at the very beginning of your product launch. It's quite possible in the first and second approach, while in the third and fourth approach, it's kind of a long term thing. Sellers jump into the niche to stay into the market for the longer time period and to earn some good money. So make sure you have the clarity what is the expected outcome of the approach and in which category you want to attempt the Amazon FB business. Definitely everything works. There are people who have listed maybe around 1500 to 2000 SKUs, and they are getting order every now and then, and they are just collecting that inventory from the local distributor or maybe the local drop shipping point, and then they are shipping these units manually, and out of these 1500 to 2000 SKUs, whichever SKU works better, they are putting it as the FBA inventory. And definitely in the second approach, there are people I have seen, I have managed their accounts as well, who are into the niche where the PPC is very less competitive. Those are kind of boring products and the high price, high ticket items, and those people are simply selling those units with a good margin on each inventory. They won't aim for ranking, they won't aim for getting on the top spots. Their whole they take it as the Facebook ads, or like you can say the Google ads, where they are aiming for the positive return on the ad spend from the very first month after they get a couple of reviews. But in the second and the third and fourth approach, the ball game is altogether different. These sellers or these category people, they aim highly for the organic ranking, to get ranked on the top sports, to capture the search volume of all the relevant keywords, and to show up with the best conversion in the market, so they can stay, rule, and dominate that particular niche. So those are different mindsets, and these mindsets require different strategies and then different budget, which comes to the point. This will kind of give you a good answer. How much does it cost to start an Amazon FBA business in 2022? Hope it helps. Let me know if you guys have any query. I'll happy to answer that in the comment section. Do like the video and subscribe the channel, and see you soon with the next value bomb. Thank you.